Tell, let them know that I know that the cops knew who I was. After Richard Mallory died, I left prints everywhere, and they covered it up and let me kill the rest of those guys to turn me into a serial killer.
A cannibal confesses to eating his victims to possess them forever. A woman guns down men claiming survival. A drifter brags of a murderous rush that consumed dozens. When serial killers face justice, their words cold, defiant, or thrill-soaked transform courtrooms into theaters of horror where humanity's darkest shadows are laid bare. Today we plunge into three infamous cases: Jeffrey Dahmer, Aileen Wuornos, and Tommy Lynn Sells, whose vile confessions and unrepentant stares left judges reeling and families broken. These aren't mere crimes, they're chilling glimpses into minds warped by evil, challenging the law to contain what seems uncontainable. Case 1. Jeffrey Dahmer. The Cannibal's Quest for Control. From 1978 to 1991, Jeffrey Dahmer, the Milwaukee cannibal, haunted Milwaukee, Wisconsin, breaching every moral boundary by murdering and dismembering 17 young men. He lured victims, often marginalized men, to his apartment with promises of money or drinks, then drugged, killed, and engaged in necrophilia and cannibalism, preserving skulls and organs in a grotesque bid to keep them with him. Education warns that untreated mental disorders, like Dahmer's obsessive-compulsive need for control, can spiral into atrocities. Early psychiatric care might disrupt such paths. His reign of terror ended in July 1991 when Tracy Edwards escaped battered but alive and led police to Dahmer's apartment. Officers uncovered a nightmare boxes of body parts, a barrel of acid, and refrigerated remains. Dahmer confessed with eerie calm, "I wanted control to make them part of me. Killing was just a means to an end." In 1992, his Milwaukee County Circuit Court trial gripped the nation. Laws under Wisconsin's first-degree murder statute, Wisconsin Statute Section 940.01, mandated life for each count. Charged with 15 murders in Wisconsin, Dahmer pleaded guilty, but insane, admitting, "I didn't enjoy killing, it made them permanent." Victims' families filled the gallery, their sobs echoing as they mourned brothers, sons, and friends. One sister's whispered grief cut through the silence, cursing Dahmer's name. The jury rejected his insanity plea, convicting him on all counts. Judge Lawrence Graham delivered 15 life sentences, the consequence plus one, for a 1978 Ohio murder. Dahmer's soft apology, "I wanted death for myself, I'm sorry," rang hollow against the family's pain. The courtroom became a crucible of sorrow, exposing a monster's cold calculations. On November 28, 1994, inmate Christopher Scarver beat Dahmer to death at Columbia Correctional Institution, ending a legacy of horror that still chills Milwaukee's memory. Case 2. Aileen Wuornos, a killer's defiant cry, from 1989 to 1990. Aileen Wuornos, a sex worker prowling Florida's highways, breached trust by shooting and robbing 7 male clients aged 40 to 65. She insisted it was self-defense, claiming they attacked her, but evidence, stolen goods, and deliberate shots pointed to calculated murders. Education reveals that childhood trauma, like Wuornos' abandonment by her mother, abuse by her grandfather, and pregnancy at 14, can fuel violent cycles. Support systems might derail such trajectories. Arrested in 1991 on an unrelated warrant, her lover, Tyria Moore, turned witness, testifying. Wuornos confessed while watching TV, "I shot and killed a man today." Initially denying guilt, Wuornos later unleashed a chilling admission, "I robbed them as cold as ice, and I'd do it again." Her 1992 trial in Volusia County Court for one murder was a firestorm. Laws under Florida's first-degree murder statute, Florida Statute Section 782.04, permitted the death penalty. Wuornos screamed at the jury, "You sabotaged my life, it was self-defense." Yet she added, "I've hated humans for a long time, I'd kill again." Her tragic past, born to an incarcerated father forced into sex work, failed to sway the jury. Judge Uriel Blount sentenced her to death, the consequence, with 5 more death sentences for other killings. Victims' families sat in stunned silence, their grief a quiet counterpoint to her outbursts. On October 9, 2002, Wuornos faced lethal injection, her final words sharp, "I'm ready to beam up." The courtroom, a battleground of her rage and victim's loss, exposed a woman caught between her own pain and the evil she inflicted. Her story, fueling debates about justice and trauma. Case 3. Tommy Lynn Sells, a drifter's deadly addiction. From the 1980s to 1999, Tommy Lynn Sells, a nomadic drifter, breached humanity, convicted of 1 murder, but linked to about 22 killings across the U.S. On New Year's Eve 1999 in Texas, he broke into a home, stabbed 13-year-old Kayleen Harris to death, and slit 10-year-old Crystal Searle's throat. Crystal survived her courage, leading to his arrest. Sells confessed, "The first time I killed, it was such a rush, I kept chasing that high." Education stresses that early trauma, like Sells's alcohol exposure at 7 and molestation, can breed violent predators. Early intervention might stop such cycles. He claimed he spared children his own pain. "I didn't want them to live through what I did." In 2000, his Val Verde County court trial was a study in cold detachment. Laws under Texas's capital murder statute, Tex Penal Code, Section 19.03 mandated death or life without parole. Sells bragged, 20-30 killings, I'm not keeping notches." Crystal, her throat scarred, testified bravely, "He cut me, I played dead to live." Her words, trembling but resolute, sealed his fate. The jury convicted him of capital murder. Judge Henry Garza sentenced him to death, the consequence. Unrepentant Sells said, "I suffer more here than in the grave." On April 3, 2014, he was executed by lethal injection, declared dead after 13 minutes. The courtroom, charged with Crystal's strength and family's anguish, stood as a testament to justice's heavy cost. Yet Sells' body count left a trail of questions about how many lives he truly claimed. Jeffrey Dahmer's cannibalistic confessions, Aileen Wuornos's defiant rants, Tommy Lynn Sells' thrill-chasing, boasts trauma, and mental illness fueled these serial killers, who turned courtrooms into stages of horror, their words etching scars on victims' families. Early help could save lives. From Milwaukee's grim apartments to Florida's lonely highways and Texas's blood-soaked homes, their crimes ripped lives apart as killers murdered dozens with chilling intent and manipulation. Laws bound them under WIS Section 940.01, Florida Section 782.04, Texas Section 19.03. Life sentences, death row's executions ensured severe penalties for murder, but the pain of lost sons, brothers and daughters lingers like a ghost. Can justice ever fully answer such evil with life terms? Death sentences, executions, yet grief endures. What drives a mind to such darkness? Subscribe and follow Red Tape Red Flag on all platforms. And don't forget to like, share, and comment.